It looked like scenes from a disaster movie, but it really happened. Drivers and passengers of several hundred cars were stuck in a giant traffic jam on the snow-covered S7 route near Ostróda, Poland, water from the Baltic Sea. A 16-kilometer traffic jam, hundreds of cars stuck in the cold, many of them with families with children, and no help for hours. We've been standing here for a very long time, and will probably be standing here until morning. As you can see, our cars are being buried in snow, so maybe someone will feel sorry for these people and help us somehow. Where possible, firefighters try to organize detours. But the S7 route near Ostróda became a glass trap with no way out last night. As usual, winter took the government by surprise. I just spoke to a firefighter who said that the chief of some local police force, probably in Olsztyn, is already on his way here to help. So I asked what good that would do, and I quote the firefighter said, "F that." There are lots of reports on the internet about what the situation was like. Experts also say that the services reacted too late on the S7. It was absolute chaos there, because even though Poles received alerts from the Civil Protection Headquarters before noon, no one thought about clearing snow from one of the country's main routes. Minister Dariusz Klimczak, if you are looking for someone to blame for the Armageddon on the S7, it is best to start with the management of the General Directorate for National Roads and Motorways in Olsztyn and the Traffic Maintenance Department. From 3 p.m. when it started until the traffic jam before Ostróda, which began before 7 p.m., there was not a single snowplow in the direction of Gdańsk. As a result, one truck immobilized by snow blocked traffic on the entire route, and that's bad news for other truck drivers. Together with Minister Klimczak, we have also decided to carry out checks in connection with this situation, with increased checks on trucks traveling on expressways and national roads. This may not be enough, as snow is still falling, and the situation is repeating itself on other roads in the center and north of the country. But that's not all. On the A4 towards Zgorzelec, there was a pileup involving 6 cars, a truck, and a bus, hence the government's appeal to Poles to avoid unnecessary travel. At the same time, we hear that the services responded correctly and that the government is not skimping on the safety of Poles. The General Directorate for National Roads and Motorways spread 6 times more salt on the roads than usual, so I appeal to those who want to stir up emotions and sow anxiety that they are wrong. However, history shows that during Donald Tusk's rule in crisis situations, those who warned were right and the authorities were wrong. The forecasts are not overly alarming. A few days after Donald Tusk's press conference, one of the worst floods in Polish history occurred, and the government has still not dealt with its aftermath. This is not the first time. The situation was similar after the floods in 2010, when residents of flooded areas complained about the lack of state aid. I didn't elect your mayor. Tusk's government has also repeatedly lost an unequal battle with snow. This requires special snowblowers that spit the snow over the drifts. The snowblower that the General Directorate for National Roads and Motorways wanted to use for snow removal broke down, and another one is being brought in. The disarming honesty of Elżbieta Bieńkowska, who as Polish Minister of Infrastructure in Tusk's government commented on the paralysis of the railways caused by icing of the traction network, has also gone down in history. All you can say to passengers is, sorry, this is the climate we have, unfortunately. No humility, no reflection, no conclusions for the future. In the coming hours, we will be dealing with a situation that will be changeable. This is what the Institute of Meteorology and Water Management is saying, both in terms of the situation and changes in the weather, but also in terms of the hydrological situation. Although warnings of possible flooding had already been issued 3 days earlier, it was only at the last minute that a flood alert was announced in Elbląg. Frombork and Suchacz also came close to being flooded. Certain events can simply be predicted, but this government simply does not have the ability to predict what will happen, because they are failures who are unable to deal with the simplest matters, and thus lead to dangers that affect thousands of Polish people. Subsequent conferences and crisis teams organized in front of cameras, such as yesterday's at 7 p.m. or today's at 4 p.m., may improve the government's image somewhat. A little heat would be useful here and there, because the temperature and weather have played a nasty trick on many Poles, but they will not ensure the safety of Poles. All they had to do was send snowplows and salt spreaders 10 hours ago, and it wouldn't have happened, and that's it.